Good afternoon, morning, a night, whenever you find yourself to watch this. It is St. Patrick's Day, if you can't tell by the green I'm wearing. And we are lucky to have you on watching. And we're lucky to have a little HBCU Pigskin 4 for 4. We got 4 guests today, so stay tight in your seat, eat those mashed potatoes and whatnot, or shepherd's pie on this day, and just kick back and relax with us. Before we start and introduce our first guest, do you guys have anything to say to open things up?
No, just happy to see you guys again. And as we start to build this show, starting to look forward to these Thursday nights hanging out with y'all. So hopefully you guys feel the same way.
If you think of March as being draft season instead of March Madness, then this is probably the right place for you. So that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, thanks, Coach Williams. Very, very sweet of you. And Jackson, we were just told that a 15-2 upset was in the making. How could you say something so rash? But I guess we'll move on from that to lest we anger any of the basketball fans and introduce our first guest. If you like fullbacks, if you like good old fashioned smash mouth triple option football, if you're an Academy fan like myself, then you'll like our first guest, Brett Sylve from Kentucky State. And, talk about a fitting nickname for his school. He played for the Thoroughbreds. I'd say Brett is more than a thoroughbred in his own right. And, he's laughing at my joke. And I'm pretty sure he thinks it's corny as heck. But, Brett, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so I'll begin with the questions, and then we'll go clockwise from Coach Williams to Jackson, then Coach Grove. I just got one question for you, Brett. So we mentioned that you're a fullback. I can sympathize with you being a high school scout team option fullback for 3 weeks. I can sympathize with your plight of getting hit every single play. But how hard are you anticipating the transition from being a fullback to a halfback in a pro style scheme?
Well, I actually played more halfback coming into college. The reason why I transitioned over to fullback was to transition with the offense that we had. We had a different coaching staff come in my junior season. Coach Jackson, he came in with Coach Hamilton, and he brought in a triple option, which changed things around for us and put us back on the winning way.
Absolutely. And before I kick it off to my co-host, did you have more fun playing the option scheme? I know a lot of people think that to track the options, like, oh, it's no fun. We're running all the time. We're not throwing any passes, but like you guys were winning a lot. You guys were running the ball down people's throats in some pretty great venues, whether it be Lucas Oil Stadium or the Horseshoe out of Columbus. Like, did you enjoy running the option more than the previous scheme?
I had more weapons around me in this scheme, so it's always fun when you scoring touchdowns. This year we put up 76 points. Everybody getting the ball, getting in the end zone, so we get a lot of partying going on. So it was fun scoring touchdowns for sure.
See, the option can be fun. I'm glad you said that, Brett. So we'll go on to Coach Williams for his first question.
Yeah, Brett, like I told you before we got on, we appreciate you coming on. And, as we build a show and you guys are coming on, are helping us build this thing. So we appreciate you guys taking the time and doing that. And, just happy to talk to you. But my question to you, man, is just watching the tape, man. I'll tell you, man, the thing that I like about you, and, you watch the wing tee and that sort of thing. You got your hand down as a 3-point stance. But after the ball is in your hands, what I like most about you is that the lower body is always churning, man. And as a former college running back, I kind of watch and kind of get a feel for what a guy's thinking. Is a guy satisfied with a 7-yard run? Is a guy really thinking home run all the time, or I'm going to score until they actually bring me down? So when I'm watching your tape, man, I see that lower body even as you're coming into contact. So I got to ask you, man, what's the mentality when you get the ball in your hands? Is it score every time I get the ball in my hands? Because that's what it looks like to me.
Oh yes, sir, most definitely. My thing is to really not go down by the first person. If you're getting tackled by the first person, then at the opposition, you can't really move on to the next level. But like I said, I'm trying to score. I'm trying to do everything possible to help my team out. Whether that's 4th and 1 getting the first down, or whether we just need a big play, 10 yards or a nice 50-yard burst for a touchdown. Just helping the team out the best way I can.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see it in your running style. I mean, you were in my mind one of. I'm going to tell you, man. I thought, you know, touches. I thought you were the most productive guy, you know, in all of HBCU football this year. And you know, and I really I got to ask you too, man. I mean, playing division at the Division II level of HBCU, you know, how do you compare yourself to all of the other running backs in HBCU? Because when you look at the tape and you match you up with some of the guys that they say are the top pro prospects, I mean, I don't see much difference between you and like a Jermaine Martin, you know, guys like that. I don't see a lot of difference in my evaluation of the film. So, how would you say, you know, Division II HBCU? Do you feel like that's even further off the radar than even the guys in the SWAC?
I mean, yeah, coming from a smaller school, especially being Division II HBCU, I feel like they don't really put us up there, like you said, with a Jermaine Martin. But at the end of the day, numbers don't lie. I had one of my best seasons this year, productive wise, scoring 17 touchdowns. I mean, can't argue with that. And like you said, every time we step on the field, I'm ready to compete, whether that's against Division I talent, Division II, Division III, really doesn't matter because if you're talented, like I said, they're gonna find you regardless.
That's absolutely right. 100% correct. You played in our game. You were our first HBCU Pigskin MVP. So you're gonna be stuck with us for life, man. We're gonna be bringing you back for Hall of Fame inductions and all that stuff, man.
I got my jersey. So I got my jersey right here from the game.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So you're gonna be dealing with us for a long time, man. But last question, we'll squeeze it in, guys. What do you think makes you a pro? Why should a team give you a shot? What makes you a pro running back?
Just my ability to adapt. I've played in multiple different schemes, had success in multiple different schemes. I'm coachable. I'm gonna take everything in from everybody, the coach, the owner. If you have any input that's gonna help me improve my game, I'm gonna make sure I take heed and studying the film, just making sure you're in the right place at the right time, and can't go wrong making plays.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm hogging up the time, guys. I'm gonna let y'all ask some questions now.
Brett, first off, thanks so much for coming on. You've been so generous with your time. I sure appreciate you coming. I guess my first question is when teams are looking at rookies, they often look to when they've transferred or when they're a freshman. How productive were they when they first came on the squad, right? And to see how will it translate in the league to as far as production in your first couple of years. Well, let's look at you, man. In 2015, your first year at Louisiana College, you tied for most touchdowns on the team and almost 8 yards a carry. Then in 2017 at Kentucky State, you were first team all conference as a running back, a kick returner, second team all conference as a punt returner. So a lot of special teams versatility too. What goes into that? That wherever you go, whatever different system it is, immediately you're very not only productive, but like the best.
Honestly, I feel like it goes back to when we were young, playing in the backyard. At the end of the day, it's football. Whether you're playing in the NFL, whether you're playing like if I go outside and play with my cousins, it's all football. And I feel like I'm not gonna let anybody be better than me, whether that's preparing, whether that's on the field between the lines. I don't want anybody to be able to say they've bested me. And if you did give me one play, just be sure that I'm coming back the next play.
I love it, man. Football is football, and no one's going to beat me out as long as I'm on the field, right? I love that mentality. I guess my other question for you is when a team is lucky enough to sign you, their fan base is going to go on and probably not watch your all-22, but instead just look at the numbers and see that you're 5'8", right, and wonder why they didn't sign a bigger back. I'm going to ask of these four guys that have been 5'8", and been productive in the league. Who do you compare your game most to? Jaquez Rogers, Maurice Jones-Drew, Darren Sproles, and Barry Sanders. So pretty good list. I'm curious, of those backs, who do you think you're most similar to?
I want to say I could put it all together between Maurice Jones-Drew, Barry Sanders for sure, because they're so versatile, especially Barry Sanders. He don't like going down by the first man. He's versatile. and he's just like I said in the pocket. You're not gonna tackle him 1-on-1, whether he was in the phone booth or not. And then Maurice Jones-Drew this year, I banged around a little bit more. I put on a couple more pounds so I can be able to take those hits in that offense. And he's a bowling ball, but he's also a threat to take it all the way. So I say most Maurice Jones-Drew, but Darren Sproles, he's very versatile. He can catch the ball out the backfield. He can return kicks. I like to be able to put myself in a bunch of different areas to, like I said, be able to help the team. At the end of the day, I have to say Maurice Jones-Drew. Yeah.
If I had to put one down for you, I'd put MJD too, because man, I watched some of your most recent stuff, and yeah, I noticed after you put on that weight, man, you were a bowling ball just like MJD. But we know you can be just as shifty as Barry. I think a lot of teams would sign up for that right now, a cross between Barry and MJD. So man, Brett, thanks so much for coming on. I'll pass to Coach.
Hey, Brett, we appreciate you, man. I want to go back to something Coach Williams picked on and ask you a question about your experience coming to our game. What was that like for you getting the invite? And what was it like for you showing up, day one to measurements? What was that like to you?
It was exciting. Just getting the opportunity, somebody noticing, what I've done throughout the year, throughout my career. So I was, excited to showcase HBCU football. And then once I got down there, it was all like family. Everybody was greeting each other, ready to compete. And like I said, we competed every day. And just, being able to put out a good product, that I had fun. And like even at the camp, being able to interact with the young kids and stuff like that. Just leaving a great, imprint on them about HBCUs, athletes, and just being able to help out.
Yeah. And I guess I'm going to have a question at the end of this, but I would say being smaller backs and things like that, the OC usually at the NFL level is going to be picking who that running back is based on what scheme it is. But you check all the boxes. I mean, run, catch, block, all right? And then, most people call it instincts, but processing speed. When you get the ball in your hand, you're able to process what's happening at the line of scrimmage, get to daylight, get through daylight. Creating your own when nothing is there, and then great combination of quickness to speed, being able to get in those places, change directions, and enough speed to run away from people. So you check all the boxes, and on top of that, the special teams play. So I don't think anybody's going to be questioning those things. But about the question would be about the passing game and the deep ball. Your situation when there's a mismatch, they put you in the slot or they put you out wide. Your confidence level. What is your confidence level on deep balls?
I'm very confident. In my training, I do a lot of one-on-ones. I played slot back in high school, so when I get out there, I am comfortable as far as being able to go one-on-one, whether I gotta be the zone coverage or man-to-man. And then I know as far as my hands, you get the ball in my vicinity, and I'm gonna catch it most of the time. So, being a smaller back, you got to be able to do the small things, whether that's being able to block or being able to get out there, like you say, in the slot. And you may need that first down across the middle. I'm a bigger back. I know I can take that hit coming across the middle. I'm going to make sure I secure the ball or even going deeper. I feel like I can, my route running, I feel like it's good enough to beat a DB, whether that's a nickel corner or whether that's a linebacker or even a corner safety, anything like that. I'm very confident in myself.
Omar's going to hate you for this.
I'll just add.
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
No. I think there's a delay. Go ahead, Jackson.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Brett, I was just going to say Omar's going to hate me for this because I say it every week on the podcast, but it was the wise Maurice Jones-Drew that once said, as a running back, if you can't catch, you can't play. Brett, you know how to do a little bit of both. So I appreciate you talking about the importance of pass catching.
Oh, yes, sir. And I thank you for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come down to the Pigskin Bowl and, being able to put out a good product for HBCU talent. And, I'm always support the Pigskin Showdown. I'm the biggest fan. So, yes, sir.
We appreciate you. We're one of your biggest fans too, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
I mean it when I say stay in touch. Let us know what's happening. Needing help with anything, let us know.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Wow, I mean, what an impressive player and just man in general. And there's a lot of warm moments in this podcast already. That last exchange of bet, well, it hits me right here.